Hello students, let's today understand the concept of elasticity. So by elasticity we mean how the quantity is responsive to the change in the prices. So basically we are trying to measure the degree of flexibility of the demand or how the consumers respond by changing their demand when there is change in the price of a commodity. So while discussing elasticity, we discussed three types of elasticity: own price elasticity, the second is income elasticity, and the third one is the cross price elasticity. So when we are talking about own price elasticity, we are interested in trying to observe how there is a percentage change in the quantity demanded when the price of the commodity itself changes. So basically here we are saying that if there is change in the price of butter, then how does the quantity demand of the butter changes? Okay. While discussing the concept of income elasticity, the formula remains the same. Only thing is that the denominator changes to percentage change in income. So we are interested in how the consumers respond to change in the income. And while discussing the cross price elasticity, we are interested in knowing how the consumer respond to their change in the demand if there is change in the price of the related good. Okay, since uh, own price elasticity is always negative, the reason is that we are assuming that the law of demand holds true. That is, if there is an increase, law of demand holds true, then if there is an increase in the price of the commodity, then there is a reduction in the quantity demanded. So there is an inverse relation. So as a result, the own price elasticity of demand is always negative. Then the sign of the income elasticity depends upon whether we are talking about the normal good or we are talking about an inferior good. So first of all, we define normal goods as those goods for which the demand increases if there is an increase in the income. And similarly, inferior goods we define as if there is an increase in income, the demand for those commodities goes down, then those goods are called as the inferior goods. So here we can observe that there is a direct relationship. So the income elasticity is always positive for the normal good. Okay, whereas for the inferior good, the income elasticity will always be negative because of the inverse relationship between the income and the quantity demanded. Similarly, when we talk about the cross price elasticity, it can be it can also be both positive and negative. So which depends upon whether we are dealing with the goods which are substitutes or they are complementary goods. So in case of the substitute goods are those goods for which can be used in place of each other. um, so when there is change in, let's say, the price of commodity X, then there is an increase in the demand for commodity Y, then these goods will be called as the substitute goods. X and Y will be called as the substitute goods because people will switch away their consumption from the consumption of good X to the consumption of good Y. So here we observe a direct relationship between change in the price of the related good and the commodity. So the cross price elasticity is always positive. And the complementary goods we understand as those goods which are used in combination or they are used together. So if there is an increase in the price of a commodity X, then there is a reduction in the quantity demand of good Y. So here we observe an inverse relation. So the cross price elasticity is negative. So to conclude, we understand that own price elasticity is negative. The income elasticity can be positive or negative depending upon whether the good is a normal good or an inferior good. And similarly, the cross price elasticity can also be positive or negative depending upon we are interested in type of good, whether the type of goods are substitute goods or a complementary goods. Okay, thank you.